It is a weekend of deep emotional significance for folks across the world. Gadget freaks everywhere. Of course, I'm talking about the big iPad launch. Folks are just, in a tizzy. So when this thing first got announced back in January, Michael and I both got a chance to get our hands on it. We had different feelings about it. I felt like the technology was awesome, but this version I don't particularly want. Michael was sort of about the whole thing. He's out in New York right now. I'm here in San Francisco. Michael, how are you feeling now that the ecstasy is upon us?
Well, we're not talking about the Easter Bunny, are we? I think, look, you just told me that you think the technology is great, but you don't want one. So that tells me something. And I think you don't want one because you're not quite sure what you're going to use it for. And that's what I'm most curious about, is like how these first kind of fanboy, super Apple fans, what are they going to use this thing for? And then in the next wave, what are we normal people possibly going to use this thing for? I don't know that Apple really knows. And from what I've heard from inside Apple, there's some debate about, A, how big this market's going to be, and then generally what people are going to do with this thing. I keep thinking textbooks, digital textbooks might be a big use case. I know universities would love to have something like this that they can just, download a semester's worth of work onto. So that could be big, but I think that's coming farther down the pike. I know and gaming, I think, is going to be big. I think it's just going to sit there on a lot of coffee tables and not do much, though, honestly.
Well, I'll tell you what Apple's going to use it for. They're going to use it for printing money. And I think the rest of folks at home are going to use it for looking at photos, for viewing videos. This is one of the first truly social computers that we have that's so easy to pass around. You can flip it around, the image switches. You can show your photos. You can take your SD card out through an adapter, plug it right into the iPad, suck your pictures in, and just animate through them. It's gorgeous for that. And I think when people get their hands on them in Apple stores and at Best Buy stores, I think they're going to have about 15 per Best Buy store. They're really going to be blown away by what this thing can do. But hey, okay, so there are some folks who still aren't too excited about it. I think even those folks will find creative uses around the house. It's a great coaster. It'd be a great nightlight. You kind of click the thing on and navigate through the house
right.
when it's dark. It's a good Frisbee.
Steve Jobs' poster kind of wine coaster. I don't know. But I think we'll see. And I mean, I will say one thing, is that the rest of the PC industry is going to be looking very hard at this kind of first rollout. Certainly HP is coming up with their slate. Other PC manufacturers and consumer electronics people are looking very hard at how this thing gets used and what they can do to counter the coming iPad.
And I'll tell you, it's not just the textbook folks and the photo folks and the video folks who are excited about this. Here in Silicon Valley, folks like Mark Benioff of Salesforce.com are calling the iPad the thing that's going to usher in a new era of cloud applications and cloud computing. We'll see if that's just more hype or if that really materializes, but either way, here at TechMate World headquarters and out there, Copeland, at TechMate World Financial Center in New York, we'll bring you the latest.
All right, we'll throw one back and forth and see how far we can get it to fly.
That's TechMate.